Hi everyone! So today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I'm not going to give you any care tips or anything about caring for animals, but today I wanted to tell you all my stories with Budgies. So this is obviously Lazuli, but before Lazuli I had a Budgie named Blueberry. She was my first Budgie. So I'm going to tell you stories about her and then how I got Lazuli. Okay, so stories about Budgies. So to start off, I was in college. I had just gone off to college. And I have grown up with pets my entire life. So not having a pet in college kinda was really stressful. One of those people who has to take care of something like all the time. I just have to take care of something. So I lived with Ashton. He was in the apartment right next to me. Like, we lived with 4 people, but he was in the apartment next to me. So I was getting so stressed out, and finally I was like thinking about getting maybe a small pet. Our apartment didn't really allow pets, but I figured something small would be fine. So I was thinking either a hamster or a parakeet. I was really leaning towards hamster. Because we've had guinea pigs and stuff, and I figured that was small, little furry animal would be adorable. And I didn't really know anything about Budgies. I thought they were really skittish, they'd just be flying everywhere, and I was like, I don't know if I want that. I want something I can pet and love, and you know. So when I talked to my dad and my brother about it, they said I should get a parakeet. So we went to the pet store one day, and I was looking at the parakeets, and I saw this little whitish blue Budgie running around the bottom eating food, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with this parakeet. I have to get her. So I got her. We only had a small little cage at the time, so we quickly upgraded. I got her, and I started reading about parakeets, and I was like, oh my god, they're just like, they're not skittish, and they can say things? I didn't know parakeets could talk. So she was not tame because she came from a pet store. And you're supposed to keep them in the cage for a little bit for them to get used to. So I would talk to her, and I would sing songs to her. I loved singing to her. I have a horrible singing voice, but she seemed to like it. And she went through a phase where she was aggressive, so she'd bite my hand and stuff. It was just, I was trying to keep her, or get her tame. And after about a year, she warmed up to me, and she started like being able to step up like this, just onto the next finger. She started being able to do that, and she got really tame, and it was awesome. And so we were pretty much inseparable. She got really, really attached to me because I was the only person in my room where I kept her at college. She got really attached to me. Like, whenever I would leave or go to leave for classes, she would fly to the door, and she would just like cling to the side and like be looking out like like, where are you going? And so she'd do things like that, and I'd have to keep her in the room, you know, like, stay in the room, don't follow me. She kind of got aggressive towards other people, which is bad. She would bite their hands and stuff. I mean, they're tiny, so it doesn't hurt, but still, that's not a very good thing. And it was so funny because whenever I had food or like a beverage, she would always want to check it out. Like one time I had a cup of coffee, which is horrible for parakeets. So I was drinking coffee and she flew over, landed on my coffee mug and just took a sip and flew away, and I was like, oh my god, don't do that, that's horrible. She did that to tea too, which parakeets can actually have chamomile tea, so that's not as bad. So, but still, she would like try and take a sip of my food. One time, I had a thing of soup, like lentil soup, like a bowl kind of thing, and she, this is funny, she flew over, landed on the edge of my soup bowl, sneezed in my soup real quick, and flew away. I was like, that's rude, but it was so funny. Oh, and one time, it was near Christmas, so I had just gotten a bowl of spaghetti, and I was eating it in the living room, you know, spaghetti with sauce, sprinkle cheese, it's gonna be amazing. And she was flying around, and as soon as I started eating, she flew, landed directly on top of my spaghetti and started eating it, and I was like, no, her little feet in the spaghetti. Oh my god. It was hilarious. So another thing Blueberry liked to do was she liked to throw things out of her cage. I'd have little like cat toys and stuff in there, and she would just toss them out. I also had dried pasta in the bottom once I figured out she liked to do that, so she could just toss it out. Sometimes I'd mix it into her food for like kind of enrichment, so she'd like dig around in the food, and when she'd find one, she'd just toss it out there. It was really funny. And yeah, she liked doing that. Her favorite toy was like little ball things. I have something here. Kind of like these, similar but different. She really liked them. So that was her favorite toy. What was the other story? I'm sorry, this is unscripted, so if I go everywhere, so yeah, she absolutely loved me, and she actually did learn to talk a little. So I didn't really realize it because she seemed to wait till I left the room to talk, which some budgies do that. She actually only learned how to say her name. She learned how to say Blueberry. Blueberry, who was so cute. But I never really got to see it because she would do it whenever I left the room. And like, if I had her at my parents' house, they'd be like, oh, she's saying her name. And I was like, really? I'm not in the room. It was great. She liked some snack food too. Lazuli is very, very picky with like eating his vegetables and stuff, but Blueberry, she really liked carrots. She liked grapes too, but she liked carrots better. At first it was hard for her to get to try carrots, but she was so obsessed with me. One time I stuck a carrot out of my mouth and she just was like messing with it, and she started eating it and she was like, oh my god, I really like this. So then I would just like shove carrots off the side of her cage, and she loved them. Absolutely loved them. She was very energetic, very nice, and she would take baths sometimes. It was so cute. But eventually I did lose her. So I had her at my parents' house, and I should have known that she was so attached to me. She'd try and follow me everywhere, and one time I opened the door to go outside, like just a sliver, and she followed me. So if you have a parakeet, you should probably be really super extra careful about that. I was just so relaxed and used to her being a really good budgie. I was like, oh, she's not gonna follow me, but she did. And it was a really windy day, and she flew off into the sky, and we never saw her again, and it was really tragic. We searched for like parakeet calls and set her cage up. She never came back. So that was a really big loss, and I was very, very upset with that. So, a little bit after I had graduated college, and moved back in with my parents for a little while. And so my parents gave me Lazuli as a graduation / birthday present. This was 2018. So it actually took me a while to warm up to Lazuli because I wasn't sure if I was gonna get a parakeet again after Blueberry, and we had such a close bond. Like, she didn't like any other people. She was obsessed with me, though, and we had just a really close bond, and so it took me a while to warm up to Lazuli. But, Lazuli loves everybody because he came from a breeder, actually, not a pet store. So he's not overly attached to me. He just loves everybody. So Lazuli actually loves bells. They're his favorite toy. And it's funny because I play video games sometimes, and he loves messing with the control buttons too. He absolutely loves that. I even have like a couple video game stickers on his cage because he loves that so much. And so we've been pretty bonded ever since, and he loves it here. He actually knows how to say a bunch of things. He's a male parakeet, and they know how to talk more. His all-time favorite thing to say, though, is pretty bird. He says, "Who's pretty bird?" And I always say to him, "Who's the prettiest bird around? The prettiest bird in town? It's you! It's Lazuli!" He loves that. So, let's see. He doesn't really like eating snacks like you mentioned earlier. So when I first got him, he didn't know how to fly. He was a baby. And he didn't cheep for a couple days either. So we got this really long ladder. Well, we had a bunch of tiny ladders. And so we attached them all together to make a really long ladder. And then we put it up to his cage so he would climb the ladder back and forth, and it was the cutest thing. And sorry. And one day, like 2 days after I got him, he cheeped for the first time. It was so cute. Wasn't it cute? Yeah, he's adorable. So yeah, he really likes bells. His favorite toy is this little disco ball with a bell. He absolutely loves that. He loves flying around, and he loves when I talk to him. He is just an all-time adorable, friendly bird. All-time. I don't have quite as many stories to tell about Lazuli. Whoop. And Blueberry. Blueberry was quite a character. I don't have quite as many stories to tell about Lazuli. I'm sure I'll get more. Yes. He's learning how to say new things every day. I believe he can say "I love you," he can say "what you doing," but his favorite thing is "pretty bird." He loves to say that. Yeah, you. I'm trying to think of any more stories. Oh, he likes jazz. That's the kind of music Lazuli likes, jazz music. Thought you guys would like to know that. So, the thing is, Ashton, my brother, who you've probably seen videos of, has offered me one of the baby parakeets. He said either bagel or penny. And I'm not sure if I would like to adopt a baby parakeet. It's certainly a tempting offer because they are adorable. It is a big responsibility though, and I don't want to mess up Lazuli being tamed with getting another parakeet. So, I'm not sure. So, if you comment your opinion on whether I should adopt a baby parakeet and whether I should adopt Bagel or Penny, that would be grateful. I would be grateful. Not that would be grateful here. So, that would be very good. So, of course, those are most of my stories. I probably missed some because this is unscripted. If I think of any more, I will make another video maybe. If I think of any more, tell me if you liked this video, and of course, like and subscribe.